Most of us think of airports as just a hassle, right? A place you have to get through before your trip actually starts. But what if an airport could be something totally different? Today, we're diving into Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport, a mega hub that's been completely re-engineered to be faster, smarter, and way, way greener.
So what's the magic ingredient? What does it take to turn an airport from a place you have to be into a place you actually want to be? Is it about speed, cutting-edge tech, being sustainable? Well, at Delhi's IGI Airport, the answer is pretty much all of the above. They've looked at the biggest travel headaches and tackled them one by one.
So, to really get a feel for what makes this place so special, we're going to follow a passenger's journey from start to finish. We'll see how all this smart technology and design comes together to make the whole experience feel, well, seamless.
All right, so our journey starts before we even step foot inside the terminal. Because let's be real, the first big challenge for any major city airport is just getting there. Delhi's solution? Just bypass the infamous traffic completely. And what they've done here is just so smart. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. You've got two different metro lines for two different terminals. The orange line? That's your express train, getting you straight to the international hub, Terminal 3, in about 25 minutes flat from the city center. Then you have the magenta line, which plugs the domestic Terminal 1 into a massive citywide network. It's fast, it's predictable, and best of all, zero traffic.
So, once you arrive, you're walking into the brand new, massively expanded Terminal 1. And I'm not talking about a fresh coat of paint here. This is a total transformation, built to handle a staggering number of people.
40 million. Let that number sink in for a second. The new Terminal 1, all by itself, can handle 40 million passengers a year. To give you some perspective, that's more than the entire capacity of many major international airports, all packed into one super efficient domestic terminal.
Now, to manage that kind of volume, you need a serious tech upgrade. The terminal is nearly 4 times bigger than it used to be. You've got facial recognition at every gate for a totally paperless entry, over 100 self-service kiosks so you're not stuck in line, plus way more check-in counters and baggage belts. But here's the kicker. It's not just big and fast, it's also green. The whole thing was built to LEED Platinum standards, which is the absolute highest rating for sustainable design.
Okay, you're inside. Now for what is arguably the most dreaded part of flying for a lot of us, checking in your bags. Well, Delhi Airport decided to basically solve this problem with a brand new, game-changing system.
And this isn't just a small improvement, it's a massive leap. This quick drop solution makes Delhi the very first airport in India, and get this, only the second in the entire world to use this kind of tech. You are literally experiencing the absolute cutting edge of global aviation. The process itself is just ridiculously simple. You grab your baggage tag from a kiosk nearby. You put your bag on the belt, you hit one button to agree to the safety declaration, and that's it, you're done. No fumbling with your boarding pass or passport again. The system reads the tag and does the rest. It's incredibly smooth. So what's the payoff? Well, here it is. The old self-service system took about a minute. This new quick drop, it slices that time in half, down to just 30 seconds. Now, multiply that by thousands of passengers an hour, and you're not just saving time, you're completely eliminating those huge bottlenecks that clog up the whole terminal.
So we've seen how technology makes things smooth for passengers inside, but what about the stuff they can't control, like Mother Nature? For Delhi, the single biggest challenge has always been that thick, dense winter fog.
And we're not talking about a little bit of mist. This kind of fog can literally grind an entire airport to a halt. It causes delays and cancellations that can create chaos across the entire aviation network. For an airport this big, being reliable in fog is everything.
So what's their secret weapon against the fog? It's something called a Cat 3 compliant runway. Basically, it's a super advanced landing system that lets pilots land safely even when they can barely see a thing out the cockpit window. It's a total game changer for operating in bad weather.
But it's not just one piece of technology. It's a whole toolkit of solutions working together. They have a central command hub called APOC that crunches real-time data to make smarter, faster decisions. They have not one, but 3 of those Cat 3 runways, so dozens of planes can still land every hour. And they're even using AI to predict fog with 85% accuracy up to 36 hours in advance. It's a powerful mix of hardware and brilliant software.
This quote from the airport's CEO, Vinay Kumar Jaipurier, just nails it. The goal isn't to pretend you can control the weather, It's about building a system that's so tough and so smart that you can plan for it, respond to it, and get back to normal faster than anyone else.
So far, we've talked about speed and smart operations. But there's one more layer to this whole story, and honestly, it might be the most important one for the future of flying: sustainability.
This statement from the CEO says it all. For Delhi's airport, being green isn't some side project. It's at the very core of their mission. At a time when the whole world is pushing the aviation industry to clean up its act, these guys have done something truly incredible.
Level 5. That's the achievement. It is the absolute highest rating you can get from the Airport Carbon Accreditation Program, and Delhi is the first airport in all of India to get it. It means they've hit net zero carbon emissions for everything they directly control.
90%. To get that top-level certification, they had to prove they'd cut their direct emissions, what the experts call Scope 1 and 2, by a whopping 90%. We're talking about emissions from stuff they own, like service vehicles, and from the electricity they buy to power the whole airport. That is a massive reduction.
And here's what's really wild. Their original target to hit this goal was the year 2030. They did it in 2024. That's a full 6 years ahead of schedule. In an industry that's racing against the clock on climate, that is an unbelievable accomplishment.
So how did they do it? Well, it wasn't just one thing. The entire airport runs on renewable energy, partly from its own huge solar plant right on site. They've switched to electric vehicles and robotic taxi bots to cut down on fuel use on the tarmac. They even built a new, smarter taxiway that saves 55,000 tons of CO2 every year just by cutting down taxi times for aircraft. It's a top-to-bottom strategy that even includes things like harvesting rainwater.
So when you put all these pieces together, the incredible passenger experience, the resilience against bad weather, and this world-leading push for sustainability, it becomes pretty clear. Delhi's IGI isn't just an airport. It's a working blueprint for what every airport in the 21st century should be aiming for.
And that leaves us with one last big question, doesn't it? We've just seen how one airport can completely change the game on the ground. It makes you wonder, if this is what's possible today, what does the future hold for the entire journey? What's really next for the way we all travel?